Hi everyone, this is Laura and I have a quick tutorial for you guys today for your Halloween projects. Um, Last year I did a die cut swap with Lydia, who was I Triple Dart Day here on YouTube, and she has sent me quite a few die cut pieces of this Apothecary die cut. I can never say that. Apothecary die cut from Tim Holtz. And she sent me so many die cuts. Thank you so much, Lydia, for those sweet die cuts. Now, several of my friends and my sister knew that I had been hunting down that particular die set. I've wanted it for a very long time. I don't remember. I think it was released last spring or summer. I'm not really sure, but I do remember. And again, this was last year, so I can't remember. Shortly after I received my die cuts from Lydia, I think it was my husband that took me. I don't really remember. I do remember someone on YouTube had messaged me telling me that the Apothecary bottles were on sale. Was it my cousin? Oh, I don't remember. But someone had mentioned that the dye was on sale in right after Christmas. I don't remember if it was Tuesday morning or Joanne's. Needless to say, I got the dye. I forgot. I think it was $8.99 or $7.99, something to that effect. Um, and I've been waiting and waiting. Although now looking at it, I could have used these pretty much for anything. But anyways, I transgress. I was waiting for Halloween to bring them out and start utilizing them. Now, I did cut out a lot of different what I thought were fallish looking colors or Halloween looking colors, and I started going to town. And as is my trademark, I did plenty of die cut pieces with the papers, and I used up the pieces that Lydia has sent me. And so I started making apothecary bottles that I wanted to use this year, at least on one Halloween project. Um, I did remember seeing someone on YouTube making, I wanted to learn how to make the blood that looks like it's drooping, gooping down. And I saw one young lady's video. I don't remember her name right now, but she didn't go into how she made them. She just showed them on a project. So I kept searching YouTube and I couldn't find anything. I did finally find one gentleman, and I wish I would have written his name down. He was making spooky bottles with liquid, and he showed how to do this technique that I'm going to share with you guys today. And he had like shampoo bottles that he used, and he put like little googly eyes to make them look spooky, and plastic gummy worms, and it was just an amazing project. And I am so sorry, guys, that I cannot remember his name. I did watch the video last year, but I did not save it or put it in my likes. I should have. In any case, I do remember, I don't remember exactly how he did it, but I had an idea, and I wanted to share that with you. And these were the results of my drippy goo blood. And again, I looked it up on YouTube this year and I couldn't find any videos. Now, not to say that they're not out there, I just can't find them. So I figured I would do a tutorial and maybe help some of my friends out that might be looking for ways to do that. Now, like I said, these are what they look like already cut out, and this one was done at a chip. They're all done on chipboard and then on paper. And this is what it looks like, nice and plain, very pretty, very nice. But I wasn't too happy with it. And I don't have a label stamp with all kinds of spooky sayings and colors and stuff like that. I could make my own, but I really didn't want to go into so much detail. So what I did instead was I started looking through my stash, and I found several a bag with a whole bunch of die cuts. It might have came from one of my older paper collections, because didn't have hardly had any Halloween papers this year because I didn't buy any last year. So I started looking through them and I found some labels on a piece of pattern paper, and I started cutting all those little labels apart. So that's what I used. And I thought this one was so cute because this actually has the address to the pharmacy, and it's called Truth Serum. I just love these little labels. I wish I could have remembered from what paper pad this came, and I might have had some more. But anyways, I was happy to have the ones I had. And then as you can see here, I stamped a little spider web. It's a tiny little stamp that I have, which is this one right here. It's from Prima. No, actually it's from Autumn Leaves. And it looks like this. So I just took it and stamped out the corner. I really didn't do anything else. And I actually have to wash my little stamp because I just finished playing with it. Yeah, so what I did, and I want to share that with you guys now, and this is going to require a lot of glossy accents or a lot of UT if you do want to do it. So this is one of the bottles that I did with the UT, and I did not put a cover on this one because some of them I want to tilt them over and make them look like they're spilling over, and I wasn't very particular either about covering them with UT because to me they're supposed to look nasty and dirty and disgusting and spooky. So this was right up my alley. And as you can see, I do Juice of Poison, Juice of Fire, Note Poison. I love these labels. So this is what it looks like matte, and this is what it looks like with the UT. Now I did have glossy accents, but I wasn't trying to use all my glossy accents on this bottle. Plus it took forever to, I mean, guys, look at how big these bottles are. These are not small. These are ginormous, and it would have took a lot of glossy accents. So to make it look like a glass bottle, what I decided to do instead was I just took my embossing ink and covered it completely, and then I just kept dipping it in the UT and heating it with the heat gun, and then dipping it and heating it and dipping it. Now you want to decorate and do everything that you can do before going to this next step that I'm going to share with you. For this project, you're going to need a glue gun. And you're also going to need, if you want it to be in red, you can have glue coming out of the bottles in any color. I decided to use Red Pepper by Tim Holtz. And this is one of the alcohol inks from Adirondacks. And this is what I did. I made these bottles. And look, they're dimensional, and it looks like disgusting, like something exploded on it. My daughters fell in love with these bottles. Here's another little example. See, this one I left the top off, and if I use it on a project, I can make the blood dripping out like so. See what I mean? Now, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I saw the video last year. Here's another bottle with none of the glue. Here's a bottle with the stamp, and I didn't glue it yet. Some of them I am going to leave matte. Now this one, what I did was I put the UT on, and then after I did the UT, I cracked it so that it looked like a crack bottle. I don't know if you can see the cracks on camera, but it makes it look like, and then I put the glue and the blood and all that nice stuff all over it. What I was saying was it has been more than a year since I actually saw the video. This one I didn't put a label. I just stamped out the web on it. And so I do remember how he made them, but I don't remember how he adhered them once he made them. And that's where my brain froze. So I just used the glue gun, and then I kind of set it, and I'm going to use this bottle today to cover this as an example of how I did it. You guys might come up with a better way. Now, this one doesn't have glue. It just has the alcohol ink, which you can do also. You don't necessarily have to give it those added dimensions that I did. And then these are just plain bottles that I just wanted to leave plain as well. And like I said, I made a whole big bag of this, guys. So I have these two little bottles here that are all ready to set. Like I said, if you are going to do this technique, I would suggest that you do whatever you're going to do to your bottles before. Leave this as the last step. If you want to put blood dripping down on it, and if you want to use the Uti or whatever sealer you have, even some Mod Podge or whatever seal. If you want that glass bottle look, if you want to use the ultra thick UT or your glossy accents or your Mod Podge dimensional magic, whatever you guys have, do that, let it dry, and then go to the next step. Now, this, like I said, a lot of you may know how to do this already. I just didn't know how. And I was discovering that I couldn't refer to any tutorials except for that one guy. And like I said, I couldn't remember his name. I'm so sorry for that. So anyway, I've been working like a beast with my glue gun, and it is quite messy, and I didn't bother to clean it. So do excuse my glue gun. So what I did was I just used my craft mat. First of all, you need a craft mat. You definitely need a craft mat for this project. And I just basically, oh my goodness, stuck. Hold on. Oops, that was too big. I just made some some droops. Just like that. All over my craft mat. If you want to get special, if you want to go crazy and make some designs or some swirls, make them really look like big pieces of worms or I don't know, I always think about worms and gluey, bloopy, bloody. You can do that too. You can make them as long as short as you want. Basically, you just want to throw some glue lines, and like I said, the thickness is up to you, the length is up to you. If you want to make several of them together and then join them on top, that's fine too. So this is what you're going to do. And you're going to do this on the craft mat. And don't worry about all these little spider glue strings, because you can clip them off with a scissor later, or you can just rub them off with your finger. That's not going to stop your process at all. So now you want to wait for these to dry, and I do lightly touch them. I can tell more or less if they're dry or not. Once, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to wait till they're completely dry. Usually at this point I walk away for about 5 minutes, and that's all it takes, because as we know, the glue gun, the glue from the glue gun dries very quickly, and mine is not a high temp, it's a low temp glue gun, so it dries even faster. Then what I do is I take my alcohol inks and I just covered the, oops, that was a little too much. Now at this point I do have a little alcohol ink brush. You can take the brush and just, from that puddle that I made there, I don't want it to waste, so I'm just going to go in with my brush and just color in all the little gloopy glooms or worms or whatever you want to call them, all these little wormy things. I just call it glue. Goo glue. That's what I'm going to call it, goo glue. That one could be a big fat wart. I don't know. Yep, so I'm just covering them all up with the alcohol ink. And by the time I finish covering these, I don't know if you guys have had a lot of experience. Most of us, I think, have played with the alcohol inks, but they dry really fast. Now I'm going to add one more drop here because I don't like the way it went on, but it went on kind of. Another thing, if you're not happy with the color, let's say you have a red, but it's not dark and you want it even darker, you can let all of these dry and then you can go back with a second coat. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to get much darker, but it will help the additional layer of ink after it does dry will get it to look a lot darker. Warning though, if you are going to attach these with your glue gun, you have to be extremely careful because the paint will come off if the new hot glue gets on it and somehow, and how do I know this? Because I've done the mistakes already. It will peel it. And because it's hot, it will then kind of incorporate itself into your already glue worm thingy that you made. And I guess a picture's worth 1,000 words because I explain. I even, I think I teach the same way that I learn. I am one of those people that I need to see the project done in order to really learn how to do something. Even crocheting and knitting, I was very bad at reading patterns. Now, if you sat down with me and you showed me exactly what you did, I would be able to duplicate it in a second. But explaining things to me, OMG. And I find that I explain the same way I learn, very poorly. Unless you want to sit down and watch me do it, then that's a different story. If you're one of those people that likes to learn by watching, then you'll be fine. But if you're one of those people that pays a lot of attention to details and what's being said, yeah, you're going to be in a jam with me. And I'm just putting a little bit more of the alcohol ink on it. Yes, this will get your fingers very dirty and very sloppy. And you see, then you have a nice piece of drippy glue blood made with the glue strings. Now, what I do is once they're dry, let me see if I have one dry here. This one's dry. Once they are dry, you see the little glue strings? I just peel them off with my fingers, guys. And that's that. And now you have a piece of gluey blood. And you see, if you put it right here on the bottle. Okay, so what I wanted to share with you was, this is one of the bottles. I already have the UT on it. Now, this only works with the UT or the glossy accents. This will not work if you leave it matte, for instance, like this one. Don't do this step unless you have the UT or the glossy accents. Then I take the same alcohol ink that I used, and it doesn't have to be the same. You guys can use whatever color you want. I put a drop and then I just go like this. And there, it's done. That's how easy that was. And that's just if you want non-dimensional drips of blood on your project. If you want more dimensional, and look, it's already dry. That's how quickly this stuff dries. And it already pulled down to the bottom. And it dried off for the most part. So now we're good. Then what I do, I was going to do the little bottle, but I think I'll stick to this one since I already put a drop of blood on here. And I'm going to go back to the one that I just made, which is this one, since it has two scary pieces. And I kind of decide where I want it, and I think I'm going to put it there. So what I'll do at that point is I will take my my piece of gooey blood that I just made, and I will just put a very small line of hot glue here. You got to work really quick with this. And then I'll just put it right there. And see, I wasn't quick enough. It didn't stick. So I'm going to have to do that again. And then I just peel the old glue off. And sometimes, see what I mean by if you peel it, it'll peel the paint off. So when that does happen, all I do is go back with the brush. I just dip it in some alcohol ink, go back with a paintbrush and lightly paint right over it, which you can and will do. And see now, Why aren't you sticking down for me? Oh, I remember now. I also added the heat gun to it. That's what I forgot. Okay. So now I have that glued down, and it looks like a nice big hot mess there. I just peel this off, and it will come right off. Then I'll take my heat gun, and watch this. Excuse the noise, guys. I just have to heat this real quick. Now, you don't want to do this for too long because remember the UT is also going to be reactive to the heat as well as your glue worms. But that's what I do. I heat it like that, and then it automatically glues, it sticks onto the UT because the UT is also getting a little bit softer, as well as the drippy glue. The drippy glue. And then I make one little puddle with my alcohol inks. I don't put too much ink on here, just a very little bit, and I will go back with my paintbrush and just lightly paint over the blood splatters like so. And I believe I have this one all covered up. There you go. It's all covered up. It's all painted. And now that little sucker, once it dries, I can touch it. I wanted to touch it in front of you guys. It's still not completely dry, but you can rub it, squeeze it, and it is not going anywhere. And that's the same thing I did here. See? Once you have it on, they're rock hard. It won't go anywhere. But you do have to heat set it, which is the other step I forgot, once you put them on. So guys, I hope this helps you out with your bottles. If you decide to make these little spooky Halloween bottles like I've made, they're super fun. And actually, these little goopy things, you can pretty much use them on any project. But like I said, if you are going to do the heat part, see, I just glued another one down while I was talking to you guys. I'm going to heat set it. Put that down. Oopsies, I touched it. See that one? I touched it. Now, oh, I touched it again. That's why I love this particular project, because the messier, the better. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. And if you have a hot mess with the blood and stuff, that's okay too. And there we go. Now, of course, you're going to take your time and you're going to be so much more careful than I ever was with this. It's not so easy trying to look into a camera and do the projects. You'll take your sweet time when you're doing it at home. But I am really happy with the results. Super happy with the alcohol ink on the UT. It really does look like the bottles are dripping with blood. Some of them I did do just the alcohol inks, and some I did both for added dimension. Some of them I actually cracked the bottles, like this one, to make it look like a broken glass. Some of them I left just plain with the UT. So guys, I hope I inspired you guys to try this out. Maybe some of you out there are looking for ways to make some gruesome, yucky looking bottles with your Apothecary die, or maybe there are other little Apothecary bottle dies, die cuts, or die plates, or whatever. You know what I mean. Whatever bottles you have, If it's a stamped image and you want to cut it out and then put it on cardboard and give it the UT treatment, you can do that too. But I sure hope that this helps out some of yous out there, because I know I certainly could have used the help when I was doing mine. And by the way, if anyone knows how to attach these glue strings better than the method I came up with, please share that with me, because I'm always looking to learn new and better ways of doing things here with you guys. And that was pretty much the best way that I came up with it. Of course, this was all done in a matter of a few minutes. Like I said, I remember watching his toot. I just don't remember how he put them on. I do remember he used a craft matte, alcohol ink, and a glue gun. That's all I remember. Maybe he didn't attach them on his YouTube video, and I just don't remember. It's been so long. But that's how mine came out, and I was happy with the results, and that's how I attached them. Like I said, if you know a better way, please do share. I'll be more than happy to learn. In the meantime, I can think of a million other little projects to use these disgusting, icky, nasty, wormy, goomy things on. Well, guys, that's all for now. Another toot for today. I will be talking to you all very soon. I hope you enjoy your day today and have fun crafting. Be blessed. Ta-ta for now. Bye.